Hey, I'm Dagny, and in this video, I want to share with you a month in my life. So we're going to start out with co-working. So I'm at this co-working space and creative hub called Basecamp Initiative in East Legon. And I like to come here sometimes for mainly a change of scenery. It's always nice to be able to sit outside when the weather is nice, to not only get work done, but also pick up inspiration and possibly meet some new cool people. So on this day, it was kind of on the quieter side in terms of people, which was nice because I got to get some more stuff done. And in terms of what I'm working on, I am always tinkering with things dealing with my blog as well as my business, Bandolay Muse. And at this point, I'm working on fleshing out more of the sci-fi story behind the brand, as well as deadlines and timelines in terms of production of products. I also really enjoy being outside when I get to work on stuff like this because I think it entices the imagination more. Have you ever found that in terms of when you switch up your location or your environment and you find a place that actually resonates with you, so you almost don't realize how much time is passing when you're there? That is kind of what happens to me, depending on the space. Now, next, it was also great that this month my sister came to visit and we finally got to collaborate on a project. Can you guess what we're doing? Can you guess? Can you? Okay. So this is really cool. I'm so grateful to get to collaborate with her. And yes, I'll be sharing this project with you soon once I finish with editing and things like that. But it's really cool to be able to work with my sister. Like, actually, I've always wanted to collaborate on different types of projects with all of my siblings. But of course, timing and things like that get in the way sometimes. But really glad, at least for this first one, we're able to do that.
Thoughts. And a big part in the show is how differently everyone reacts. I don't know, in history, humans always tend to be quite, fearful of things they don't know or they don't understand. And that's kind of what happens with the robots.
Yes.
And also, I guess there's fear involved as well. And so, of course, like what would happen if we got to that point if we get to that point where there's robots like everywhere and they all look like us, they all act like us, and everything, but they're doing everything and they're living in society. Like, I think it's interesting to see how people would react if that were like the case. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The very beginning of the show had really good like mission and plot and stuff. The plot kind of went down a little bit, I think, towards.
So it's like that. And then when it's closed, this part is this part that's, yeah. So I think if the position could shift here so that this part is not floating when it's closed. Okay. Going over our first samples of our first clothing collection. And I feel good. I feel really good. That the changes I want to make are very possible and even better than I can imagine. And yes, we're going to go through the resampling. Practically all of them except one item actually is going to have a resampling situation happening. So this is going to be possibly another 2 months because a lot of the fabrics will need to resource. But I feel really good about this. That this is awesome. So we have homework to do. I need to take another round of a few fit photos to show the way some of them fit. And in particular for this ruffle dress, the two dresses actually both have the most changes that are needed, which is fine. Not sure if I'll bother making dresses in the next collection. We'll see. So I need to do some more. I need to do measurements for that again as well. And it's all good. So this meeting took an hour and a half of time to get through. We went through 8 designs because one of my designs is still on the way. And then they reminded me that, I was supposed to get my package, the sample of my packaging as well. And I'm like, that never came. Not sure. There seems to be a bit of it seems like that and the top both possibly got missing in action when it came to shipment. But this is so cool. Oh my goodness. Edna mode vibe loading. What? Yes. We love to see it. I'm so very grateful and so appreciative and just so proud of us. We're actually here. We're actually doing this. We're actually in it. We actually are it. This is so cool. And now I feel like I should have the Bandolin News logo on the wall somewhere here. It just makes sense. Now you cannot visit Ghana without getting your hair done. So I took my sister to get braided at Tilly Hair in Jobalu. And I like the way it came out. This is actually my first time in a very long time doing full color on my hair.
I'll just sit on it.
Now this month, I also had the lovely opportunity to volunteer at PaGya Literary Festival. I taught a workshop called The Blogging Business, and I'm really so grateful and appreciate this opportunity to share and guide. So my workshop covered, of course, some of the basics, plus discussing a lot on how to leverage future technology and measure success. We also went over content ideas and strategies. So we were dropping gems and my participants left with content topics and secret formulas to last them really a couple of months if they actually implement everything we went through. So I am still very much looking forward to all the cool stuff that they create. It was also really cool because everybody was coming from a different niche or a different topic. So we had people who focused on books, people focused on lifestyle, people focused on spirituality, people were authors themselves. So it was really great to share and provide feedback on how you can leverage blogging and digital content to enhance your business and enhance your unique lane, regardless of what industry that you're in. Now, I set up this workshop so it wasn't only lecturing, it was actually a lot more brainstorming, hands-on activities, and sharing back and forth, not only with me, but among the other participants. So we also went over a variety of obstacles and pain points that are happening, that do happen here. For example, pitching to brands in Ghana requires a very different formula compared to the tutorials you see that are more US focused, because both brands and content creators here in Ghana are learning their own value and how to leverage collaboration. So it was really neat to go over ideas of how we can do that better and how can we approach brands and possible pitching in a way that is mutually beneficial. So I'm really excited for this space. I think the content creator ecosystem in Ghana, yes, it does have obstacles. It does have a lot of room to grow, which makes it even more exciting because I think there is a lot that Ghana's content creators has to offer, not only to Ghana, but also to the galaxy. And this ecosystem does not only require bloggers. All kinds of people can be a part of the system to make it work for all of us. Similar to how you don't need to be a software engineer to be in tech, you also don't necessarily need to be a blogger to continue to improve this space. All you need to be is the solution. So I'm glad we went over those. Also, big shout out again to my sister Damali, because without her, I would not have any photos or videos of the workshop, but it was also great to have her in the room with me. Another wonderful aspect of this festival, everything was wonderful, but this particular one was partly what everyone was looking forward to, was the official launch of Kaya Girl, the remastered publication. So if you remember previously, I mentioned the book because I loved it. It has been republished now in the US. It is like double the size. The story is even longer and better. So you should definitely check it out if you can. So here the author Mamlewolu was talking about the book, and then they also did a reading.
But the others, oh yeah. So why? Why did I do them? I recalled Mom asking the same question. Everyone has piercings, Faiza, especially at school. You should see them. This is nothing. We were back to her favorite topic, school. The thing she was most curious about. She'd had no idea there was an American school in Ghana and didn't understand what I was doing there. I explained it was not only for Americans. Dad wanted me to go to a boarding school, like Holy Child or Wesley Girls or Achimota. I could see she'd never even heard of those. But Mom said I was her only child and I wasn't going to live in any boarding house. She's the one who chose the American school. It must be a very beautiful school. That's what Mom said when we went there. I think it was the facilities that impressed her. I shrugged. It's okay, I guess. We have air-conditioned class.
How hard was it to craft that dialogue? Because that is a dialogue that I think is a real dialogue.
It was really easy. I really enjoyed dialogue and maybe my kids as well, sometimes the way they are about food, and the things that they say. And then also I was thinking about my first trip to the north and getting to know these fantastic dishes and how I didn't know what TZ was. The first time somebody offered me TZ, I'm like, what's TZ? So I was, in some ways, I was also echoing conversations I've had myself. So it was really easy and fun. It was shocked. She's been up to no good because she's jealous of the friendship between Abna and Faiza. And so she devises a plot which turns things a little bit upside down. And Abna is in trouble with her aunt. So I'll hand it over to Ikwa. Oh, I have this one, yes.
Auntie Lydia was standing by the desk with her arms akimbo. She pointed at me. "You," she said, as if I were a stranger. "Come here." I walked over on unsteady legs, wondering what Auntie had found out, how much she knew. Faiza coming in, using her laptop, our dressing up, had Gifty talked, or Auntie Connie? Then I saw that the cash register, the cash drawer was standing open. Auntie pointed at it. "Half the money is missing." I looked at her, disbelieving. Behind her, Gifty was smirking, the pained look she'd worn as I exited the shop with Stephen replaced by one of triumph. I clapped my hand over her chest because my heart was beginning to jump out. "Auntie Lydia, you think I stole from you?" "No, silly. Why would you when your parents are richer than me? It's your friend. That Hausa girl, that Kaya yo." She spat the word out like something disgusting. I reeled. Faiza was being accused of stealing, being called a Hausa girl in that nasty way, being treated as a nameless Kayayo all over again, when Auntie had actually called her by name, actually spoken to her like a person for the first time just yesterday. "Faiza, you think Faiza would steal from you?" "Why not? She's a poor Kayayo, isn't she? Why wouldn't she take it?" I wanted to tell Auntie that being poor didn't automatically make people into thieves. But I knew it wouldn't help right now. Faiza wouldn't do that, Auntie. I know she wouldn't. Please believe me.
Oh, hey there. So, what is going on right now? Okay, so I need to send back one of the clothing samples. Because manufacturers don't have a copy of it, and we're kind of changing some of it. So I need to send it back. I need to like put it in like a plastic type thing beyond the envelope. And then at first I thought I had thrown them all away, but then I found one of them is still here. So I can reuse that. But yeah, you know, making clothes takes a lot of details and back and forth, and like trying to be as detailed as possible so that changes that need to be made are not stuff you could have picked up before we actually made something, you know? Do you want to see the dress? Okay, I'm not going to show you the dress. Okay, I'll show you a little bit. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? That's it. No, I'm not showing you anymore. No, don't ask me. You have to wait until the debut, darling. Yes. But it's so, I'm so grateful for the experience and the process, because it's like, and to get to this point where I no longer feel anxious. So when the things are taking time, they feel more aligned that it is taking the time, and I get to learn even more as we go along, which is really cool, because it's like, yo, I'm in it. Like, we're no longer envisioning or no longer daydreaming or no longer waiting. It's like, now we in it. We are it. Like, let's go, you know? So that's encouraging. That's encouraging. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna have to like, I don't know how much this is gonna be to ship it. But yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're going outside for today. Yay. But I need to remember what the address is, so yeah. Today's been a really good day though. This week actually has been really beautiful. I've been focused more on content for Vandalin News because I also write and do blogging. So Vandalin News has a proper blog. And I'm now finally, I've been meaning to do this, but would always end up like doing something else. But I'm now finally doing what I taught or shared at the blogging business workshop I did at PaGya this month, is actually fleshing out the different topics that go with my different content buckets. And then going ahead and just listing through what the title, the details, what type of visuals I want for each post, and then just writing them. So we got a lot creating is going on behind the scenes, and then gradually putting them out when they're ready. So and that's cool too, because like this is fun for me. Like the last time I was able to do blogging like this or creating in this mode was maybe 2015, 2016. Since then, it's been a bit up and down due to like, I guess, other stuff happening all over the world, and you just feel like, why bother? And then have to remember like, no, we do have to bother. We should always bother. Yes. Another thing that was an interesting note that came up in the discussions that we had at my workshop, at my blogging business workshop, was this notion of making money with your blog and utilizing affiliate marketing, brand deals, digital products, things like that. And taking note that there are some challenges in looking to utilize stuff that's already done. Like if you want to make money on Instagram, it's looking for a PayPal account. Or if you want to make money on Pinterest is looking for you to be located somewhere else. So if you want to make money on, like some of these, a lot of these platforms are not necessarily, not all the features are available if you are located in Ghana. And then in addition to that, this brand deal situation is interesting because it requires a different formula than the tutorials we have out already that are more like US focused. Because at the moment, for what I'm seeing, both content creators and influencers and bloggers, as well as brands and businesses, are both learning how to collaborate, how to leverage each other in this space in a mutually beneficial way. And so certain things or certain stumblings can happen where brands will give product to someone who has a lot of followers and then get upset that they didn't make any sales. Or someone who does create content and stuff will approach a brand and get upset when the brand is not interested. And on both sides, I can see it like there's a lot we need to navigate to make sure everyone's on the same page of what value everyone brings to the table and how to leverage that. So I hope that like the stuff we went over in my workshop was more geared towards set yourself up so you really are clear about what you bring to the table when you are approaching these brands. Because just the fact you're approaching them doesn't mean you're entitled to the answer yes, right? And the ecosystem that still has quite a lot we can fill in to make sure this type of like content creation industry is scalable, is substantial. There's a lot that can be done there. There's a lot that people can step up and fill. And you don't have to be a blogger to do that. You don't have to be a photographer to do that. Like this, there's all types of support that's needed. Which hopefully we can continue incorporating beyond if you can take good photos or look good in your photos, then that's it. But we'll get there. We will. The demand is here and the talent is here, so we'll get there eventually. Okay, now I need to get back to what I'm doing. Yeah.